So, I don't know why I'm doing the intro. Chase, you do this intro. You're the GM here.
I'm the GM. I'm not GMing this Q&A, though maybe I could. Yeah. Good evening, fellow geeks. Welcome to our live stream. Good to see everybody. Haven't been live in a minute. Forgot how this works, but yeah, we're gonna be just hanging out tonight. Hopefully, you guys were able to catch the end of our series of Stolen Fate. We wrapped it up, and now tonight we're just gonna chill with y'all, and we're gonna talk about the season, have fun, say hi to everybody. And Tori is not going to GM, but she will moderate this stream this evening. So I'm going to toss it over to her.
Okay. As first act of my first act as moderator will be to hear what M was going to shout.
As GM, I'm going to reject that.
Wow. After you rejected me to be the moderator, I can't believe this. All right, well, I was just going to say, chat, hello, hi, been so long. Please, go ahead and drop your questions in chat. We've got a list of things we'll review, but we want to hear what you want to know. So please, put it in there. I'll add it to the list. We'll make sure they get answered.
Yeah, and that'll be your job. You watch chat for me for questions if they come in while I bop around our own questions that we came up with that we thought would be worth talking about. So I guess without further ado, this is for Stolen Fate Season 1. We are doing a Season 2. M, your question, this made it into the outtakes on our podcast, but if we do a Season 2, there are no ifs, we're doing a Season 2. I can't handle ending how we ended and leaving it there. So I guess just for all of your information, anyone following along, we are hoping to get rolling with Season 2 episodes around early mid-July, somewhere in that window. We'll definitely keep everyone updated with when we have like more exact dates. But I guess Katie and Chase, you guys can yell at me if I have spoken out of turn, but I think we're all aligned to that plan.
Nah, I'm in.
Cool.
I'm down with it.
Okay. So let's start with one of my favorite questions to ask at the end of any like campaign, whether I've GM'd or played. I love knowing everyone's favorite NPC of the season because we met a lot of NPCs, some more enjoyable than others.
Man.
Does anyone M, you want to go first?
I always have something to say, Tori.
Go for it.
I wanted to say that I love to hate Guy so much, but I think my favorite has to be Willem. It's just like the absolute challenge to Crunk on every level. Personal, magical, fighting. Ugh. That guy gets under my skin, and I love it.
You picked two NPCs that you hate.
Yeah, they're still my favorite. I mean, I'm just a hater, and I love it, I guess.
Crunk's got a little bit of a rage monster in him.
I literally just knocked over my webcam. I'm gonna try so hard to get it reset up.
She really liked Willem a lot.
I liked him so much. Really I destroyed my desk.
This is truly live.
Yeah,
it is truly live.
We're good at this.
This is the stuff
we
would normally cut.
We used to do this like all the time. That's crazy. That's absolute madness. Katie, favorite NPC?
Everything's a mess now. Favorite NPC? I liked Guy a lot, but Guy didn't torment Gingham to death, so Guy was great.
Guy was insufferable.
I liked Guy. Or what's the NPC? This goes through my head all the time at most random times. Chase's voice going die roll, and I don't know what NPC that is, but sometimes that goes through my head. I think it was. I don't know.
That was the butcher.
Barnev
the butcher.
Barnev the butcher.
So at random times, Chase's voice haunts my dreams, and that's all it says too.
I'm just impressed you can actually remember the real name.
Varnev or Dyrol? Or both?
Like both of them. I'm terrible with names.
We've noticed. What's wrong with that. Or at least I've noticed.
Story.
Yeah.
Hurtful.
We know.
We know this. But I do love the confidence with which you guess the names, M. You just like go for it.
Well, there's
It's
no
very
sense
good.
in pussyfooting around. Come on.
Whoa.
You're responsible for a lot of wacky nicknames, and it's because you actually thought that was the real name.
Yes. What did you keep calling Dyrol?
Darnell?
Darnell, yeah.
Darnell. That's
Welcome
it.
to our Pathfinder campaign where Chase gives the NPC names and we immediately ignore them.
Yes.
Until I myself get confused.
Yeah, that's the funnest part.
Well, I'll chime in with mine. I think my favorite NPC was Shadow, but that's just because it quickly became my personal mission that then I made everyone else's personal mission to figure out what was going on with him. Unbeknownst to me, Katie just knew the whole time, so that's fun. But I liked Shadow. I loved the mystery around Shadow. I also, speaking of haunting Chase voices, Chase's hag voice just always never fails to upset me. It's so disturbing. I feel it in my soul. Just like oh, I do not like her. So, well, I guess that's my NPC I love to hate. Hags are really cool enemies. I've always been very interested in them as bad guys, and I think you play a really good hag, Chase.
Oh, thank you.
What was your favorite NPC to play since you had to play all of these characters for us?
Man, my favorite NPC to play was probably Guy, just because Guy let me be my weird self in every variety between every adventure. So he was fun to play. But I also really liked playing the Tengu captain because I just tried to make him so epic and his voice came out a lot more derpy than I intended. And then the dice backed it up. And he was just so bad at everything.
He did. He did have some really bad roles.
That's so bad.
I think he wins the award for greatest mismatch between the art and then how
And the roles.
Yeah, and the roles.
Mhm.
His art was sick. He looked so cool.
And the
And
roles
then
were
he
also
just-
sick in the worst way.
Yeah, he did not show up to fight.
I also have to give an honorable mention to the fortune teller just because Tori's face.
Oh, not
This
even my
was
face.
so
M's
good.
face on my behalf, I think, was even more shocked. I think M's facial expressions usually reflect my internal emotion. And I appreciate that about you, M. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome, I guess. I don't know how I feel.
It also makes me feel better, at least in that moment it did, to know that like I wasn't going through it alone. Even though Jack was, I was just like, my mind is exploding right now. And then I look over at M and she's just like, I'm like, okay,
No filter over my face.
okay,
It's
good.
horrific.
Mrs. Moderator,
Yeah,
there are some live questions from
I
chat.
know.
Can
I
I
was
grab?
gonna-
Oh, you were gonna grab them?
gonna
Okay.
jump.
I was just
jump
making
on
sure.
one.
I was just making sure.
Listen, you made me the moderator, and now you need to
Well,
chill.
you made me the GM, so roll initiative. and we'll figure it out.
Whoa. Oh.
That was a group decision, I think. But but did you which one did you want to answer, Chase?
No, you're the moderator. I'm gonna let you pick.
Okay. Well, Mario was first. So now that you have the experience, what would you have done differently as a GM? I'm planning to start soon. I'm assuming Mario is planning to start GMing Stolen Fate soon. In which case, what tips or advice do you have for Mario or any other GMs hoping to run this?
Tip number one, if you're watching this and planning on running it, just take note. I changed a lot, which is typically what I'll do with adventure paths. Is I'll usually change things to fit the group and just to fit my GM style quite a bit. If there's a thing that I would change going back into this, there's a couple things I wish I would have changed just because I didn't end up liking how the encounters played out. Number one is the fire encounter. I did that one pretty much by the books, and I wish I wouldn't have because I didn't enjoy that encounter very much. You guys
And we
crushed
struggled.
it. You
Did
guys
we?
crushed
It didn't
it.
feel like we
just
crushed it.
fine.
Well.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry to like just promote myself, but I think that Crunk crushed it. Just
Hey,
saying.
I single-handedly got 2 other people to do my part of
That's
that
true.
encounter
That's true.
in typical Jack fashion.
My brag is that I got the lead actor killed.
That was
I-
Gingham's contribution.
Yes.
I literally had to go on a drive after that session so I could just like scream out the car windows. I like, Chase, get in the car, we're going for a drive. Like, how is it possible? How is it possible that we had an NPC just be like, oh, you're gonna pay me for a day's work? Sweet. And just like light themselves on fire and die in 6 seconds. Like, no amount of payment could ever make me do that.
Well,
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that person had less intelligence than M, is my guess.
Well, thanks, I guess.
I'm not sure how to
So,
take
fire-
that
sense,
fire
more
comment.
like.
encounter. Fire encounter. Watch out for that one, GMs. Maybe
So-
consider adjusting that one.
So in short, my biggest advice for this campaign would be this campaign is really fun because it has a lot of segmented off adventures. And although a lot of the beats in the adventures are important to the overarching story, a lot of it is not. So I would recommend to just like read ahead on the different encounters and like just make them your own, like change them completely to fit your group and just make sure that you keep the important story beats in there because, then it's more fun.
I imagine that also leaves a lot of room to insert fun story beats for your own particular party members. Like you did a lot, Chase. Or I
Yeah.
assume you did a lot. It seemed like you did that.
Ooh, can we do a quick little fun mini game?
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Let's do guess which card I changed drastically or didn't.
Oh, you changed the cards themselves?
No, but like the adventures tied to the cards.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Which
the big sky. What do you guys think?
the big sky. That was the one with the Tengu pirates,
Uh-huh.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're
Not-
guessing if you changed it a lot
Yeah.
or not?
Like
I'm gonna-
changed it a lot, changed it a little, or didn't change it at all.
Oh, okay. M?
Was it the Cloud Dragon one?
Wait, no, we're guessing
we're
for Big
going in
Sky.
order.
Oh.
Big sky.
Big
Gotta
Sky
keep
changed it a
some-
little.
Yeah, I'll go with Katie's yes.
Wait, did you only change one, or were we asking for each one? If you
I'm asking
changed or
for
not?
each one.
Okay, my bad. I
you're
misunderstood
good.
the assignment.
You're good. What do you think,
A
Em?
lot,
What do you
a
think?
little, or none.
That's the one where we had to fight the ones that were in the sky.
The crusty Tengus and then the flying devils.
I think you
or
changed
whatever.
that one a lot.
Rocks. I changed that one. Not at all.
Oh,
Oh.
okay,
That one
well,
is by the book.
we're
That was
bad
awesome.
at this.
Okay, cool.
What about the carnival?
Well, that wasn't an encounter, that was just a thing.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. I don't even know apparently. Let's see.
Well, I'm guessing you changed that a lot because we had many we did many shenanigans inside the carnival.
Mhm.
What about the juggler?
The juggler. That
That
was the one
was-
with the dragon.
Yeah, that was one with the giant.
The giant. Not at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess not at all. Katie
I'm
and I
also
are
gonna
the
guess
same
not
one.
at all.
That's with the cloud dragon, right? That's the
Yeah.
one
Oh
where-
Yeah.
no! The Cloud Dragon one, I think you did change.
Cloud dragon. I changed not at all.
I'm just bad at
Hey,
this.
1 point for me and Katie. All right, next.
All right. What about the silent hag?
You totally
Yes.
changed that a lot.
No, you didn't.
Okay, I'll go for the middle. I'll go a little. One of us
Okay.
is getting a point.
I changed that one a lot.
Oh,
Yes. It's
Okay,
tight to
let's
do-
Jack.
Let's do one more.
and Gingham turns out in the end.
What about the snake bite?
The snake bite.
A little.
I'm gonna say not at all.
Well, I guess I'll say a lot just so I can be
Yeah.
wrong again.
Wow. You are wrong. I changed it a little.
Katie's
so good at this
crushing
game.
it. Well,
Oh, man.
are there so I guess you were kind of all over the place then, Chase. Some you didn't touch at all, some you changed a little, some you changed a lot.
Yeah.
Can I give a theory on like the snake bite one and not changing that one very much?
Huh?
I think you thought it was funny that we would turn into stuffed snakes. So you're like, I'm not going to change that a lot because that's chaos.
Yeah, I
What
actually
was that
added
even?
I added the little stuffy snakes.
You added the fluffitis?
Yeah.
It's great.
That is
Fluffitis?
absolutely
What else could it be?
diabolical.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
I don't know. I would not put it past Paizo to have some wild effect that it turns you into a plush.
Oh yeah, not at all. That's definitely the kind of deviant behavior Pies would put in there.
Mhm.
It just didn't have enough deviant behavior for you, so you had to insert some of your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Have you met
Chase?
Chase?
We've already seen by my shorts I apparently am a villain, so
That's true. That's true. Okay. One other question from chat. Will we see any guest PCs, perhaps from past campaigns in season 2? What an excellent question. I don't know if we know the answer to that. I'd say it's not off the table, but
yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Um,
Kind of fun.
Oh, question back for chat then. Which one would you want to see? What do you
Yes.
think would like match? I want to know.
yeah, if you have any past PCs that you would love to have make an appearance, that would be wonderful to know.
And
Fun
while we wait
fact,
for oh, sorry, you go first, Tori.
I was just going to say, fun fact that probably most listeners or viewers wouldn't have any way of knowing, but Willem is actually a past PC. He has not ever appeared in any of our shows, but he is a past PC of Chase, who actually showed up in the same campaign that Katie was running briefly for us, where I created Jack. So Jack and Willem do actually have a history. They were in Katie's campaign together, but we only played a few sessions. And so that's, if you were like, I don't know if you guys could see the reaction whenever Willem appeared, and all of us probably had kind of a big reaction to what was a very like unknown NPC to everyone else. That's why we all knew who Willem was already. But yeah, so that was just a fun little Chase cameo.
That comment's amazing. The suicidal supernatural fluff bear. It's one of my favorite gags.
So good. Also, I'm gonna answer Sam's question. Why don't we all play gunslingers? Gunslingers are awesome. I love gunslingers. It's actually my favorite class in 2E. So I'm right there with you, Sam.
Gunslinger. Well, if
So
we
it's
all
all about
die,
support
Sam,
gunslingers.
You're not kidding.
if we all die in season 2, then I vote we all come back as gunslingers
Sure.
to continue the show.
I like it.
I have a
Straight out
slightly
of
different answer for
Alkenstar.
Sam.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the reason why I'm not playing a gunslinger is because Crunk is a spite build. Chase
my gosh,
basically
that's good.
put down a challenge. Then I was like, you know what? I'm going to meet it. So I tried to build Crunk to be a healer, tank, damage dealer. I kind of got it. I feel like a little bit, a tiny bit.
Oh, it's
I feel
working.
like I need to clarify. You challenged yourself. All I said was, I think you guys would be fine without a healer. And everybody was like, no, we wouldn't. Absolutely not. And then M pulled a Barney Stinson and said, challenge accepted. And
Yep.
There you go.
Well,
So in a weird way, you're actually proving Chase right.
well, you are, but also third-party perspective from here. Chase, you had a challenge in your voice.
Or did you just hear a challenge in my
There
voice?
was one.
Is there a difference? Does it matter?
Yeah.
It's one and the same. If Chase says, I don't think you can do something, or I think you can do something, it doesn't matter one way or another. M is going to try and prove you wrong.
That's
or in this case,
accurate.
prove you right.
I guess I proved you right. Yeah. I guess that's true.
So I do have to say, though, I think Crunk is one of the strongest Pathfinder 2e builds that I have seen to date. So good job.
We should share our builds.
Bonkers.
So if anyone else wants to build a completely broken healer, tank, damage, Magus.
Just wait
Game's
until we
got
see
you
all of you
too.
guys with dual archetypes. You guys are going to
Oh
Oh,
my gosh.
be off the
buddy.
chain.
Yes.
I'm gonna be so broken. I'll be so broken.
I'm gonna be so weird. So weird. I told Chase that Gingham with a bard dedication is just gonna get weirder.
You know, you already made the town dance, so
Yeah, you were half bard already.
Listen,
somehow you enchanted a dragon with your moves. So like,
Paizo gave me this lovely feat, see, and being a doll, I had to use it.
That-
could you do your best Weedle and Jig for us?
Oh yeah, let's see it.
Just like
It's
Gingham
just-
style.
Jeez,
Chase
your
got
gig
a
is too aggressive. You need to
Chase
calm
got
down.
a shimmy in there. Just like, yeah. We wheedle and jig all over.
Both.
I got swept up with the craze. I've been practicing.
Yeah. I don't know. Gingham does panic wheedle and jig. It's just.
I think that goes nicely into our next question, or the next question I'm picking at least. What was your favorite Gingham moment of the season?
Gingham moment?
Well,
Go, Tori.
if you okay, I mean, well, I'll just steal the obvious one. I think my favorite Gingham moment was enthralling that dragon so that we could pull off the heist of the century. But it was very cool. It was the first time you'd done that, which was exciting. None of like Em and I both were like, "What even is this? What is
left.
happening right now?"
I left. I was like, you know
It's
what?
true.
It's not for me.
Don't know what's happening. I'm out of here. But it was great. The dice just went right along with your harebrained scheme, and that was like that was definitely the moment that Jack gained a lot of respect for Gingham, because what used to seem to him like just a weird, creepy little doll somehow pulled this off. So yeah, that was my favorite Gingham moment.
It's a good one.
That should
Mine was when Gingham pretended like he had stolen the bandits' bowstring and just had them have an absolute meltdown and just stood there holding the bowstring.
I did like how you played all of your weaknesses, Katie.
Thanks.
My favorite Gingham moment is for sure the moment when they were like, you know what? I'm going to offer 2 favors to the hag, even though she only asked for 1. Because that was the moment that Emily realized that Gingham do be a little cray-cray. Like, what the hell? Well, why? This little chaos monger, I thought it was like this little sweet cooing doll. Nope. Reckless.
You know what? I got 2 friends. Why don't I just give you 2 favors? One for each friend.
I was proving Gingham could count.
Because that was what we were all wondering in that
We
moment.
were curious.
Yeah.
Or the fluff, the bloody fluff.
The
That was
fluff.
funny.
Fluff and blood, yes. Katie?
I don't know if it's a moment, but I like that we coined that Gingham pretending not to be a living thing has just turned into I'm gonna Andy's coming and fall over. And I think that's great.
It was good.
Could make a whole montage, a whole 20-minute montage of Gingham
Andy's coming.
flopping over.
Right.
If I was to judge my favorite, most creative Gingham moment, it was when you interrogated the wanted poster.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, talking to the Jack poster was good. I also
That was a
enjoyed
good one.
Chase's impression of
Oh,
Jack.
Jack. That one. That was good. God, favorite moment though is when Gingham's like, or we could kill him, and Crunk looks at Jack and goes, "You're a bad influence."
Yeah. Taking heat for something that was very much already baked into Gingham, I think.
Yeah.
I did not inspire that at all.
Mm.
Okay, going along with favorite moments. Let's talk favorite Crunk moments. Em, are you prepared for that question?
Yes, of course I'm prepared.
You don't
for
have
such
to
a
answer
question.
first. I'm just
I don't
want to
answer first.
Okay.
I will
okay.
answer first.
Go, Katie.
Listen, I'm gonna steal it. It's the nat 20 moment on that disintegrate, and just Crunk coming in and laying waste to a boss at that. It wasn't even just this little NPC side villain. It was Crunk bounding in with the disintegrate and just boosh. That was so cool. So cool. I loved that Crunk moment.
Thank you.
I think, gosh, I have quite a few good Crunk moments that come to mind. I do like on the same note of disintegrate, Katie, yours made me think of this, but I loved the moment where we were fighting the Tengu in the jungle, and there was one scout who was running away, and Crunk just goes barreling after him. And in my mind, at least, it's a thick jungle, so like Jack and Gingham don't even see what happened. They just hear disintegrate and hear a little kaboom and everything, and then Crunk just comes sprinting back over, to deal with whatever troubles left, which they were safe by then. But I love that image in my mind of Jack and Gingham just
fun.
like,
what's happening?
Crunk is scary.
Yeah.
He's a little scary right now.
Narrator, it was that moment that we all questioned whether we should be with Crunk.
Are we? Yeah, and then Gingham asking, are we in danger?
Yeah.
We might be. I don't know. Honorable mention, though, too, is when Crunk just terrified any and all shopkeepers in the Grand Bazaar who dared harass Jack in any way, shape, or form.
This is best bud right there. Please.
Yeah.
My favorite Crunk moment was when he 1v3'd the rest of the rocks.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Yeah, that was sweet. You could have just left and you were like, nah, I'm gonna be a hero instead.
The gates had opened. I had the choice, and I was looking at them, and I was like, I think I can kill them. And everybody else was gone, and I was like, I really think I can do this. And then he did, and that was awesome. But the best part was as soon as the cameras went off, Chase was like, it's a really good thing that you guys didn't quit that one, because if you'd quit, it would have been really bad. You would have got negative points of the blah, blah, blah. And I had no idea about that. And that was like a sweet little gamer like buzz in the back of my head that I really liked.
Achievement unlocked.
Exactly.
The completionist in you was like, yes, good, okay. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I did like that. Especially because not just Gingham and I were like done, but we'd both been like conked.
We were like dead.
Like out. Crunk was like, I got this. It's
lightning dance hurt.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Secondary honorable mention of Crunk is just every absolute meltdown at Guy. All of them.
Anything Guy said.
Any
question we dared ask was just met with a nonsense answer, and Crunk immediately rage quitting Harrow Court. Right. Just like, nope, I can't be here. I cannot with this place.
Crunk is done.
Crunk is feeling a little crunky and needs a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time we go back to Harrow Court. Okay, we can talk about Jack now.
Oh, favorite Jack moment. The dagger. Favorite Jack moment. The passing back and forth between you and Chase of that damn dagger. Mm-hmm. So funny to me.
You don't even know. You don't even know, Tori, what you've done.
Are you going to tell us?
Absolutely not. You're going to find out in season 2.
That's rude.
Do I get any sort of like compensation for being the one that Chase has terrorized more than anyone else this season?
No.
You get a lot of life experience, not like game experience, but Jack gets a lot of wisdom through trial and tribulation.
Well, sure, Jack does, but like me personally, Tori, how many times you asked for weird saves, said, hey, you want to do this thing? Are you doing this? Who has a bag of holding? I dealt with so many stressful Chase questions, okay?
Listen, it's not my fault you always have the dangerous thing.
He just said that's a personal problem.
Apparently.
He did.
Okay. I'm sorry, I got distracted when you started talking about you don't even know, Tori. You don't even know what you've done. I just have to accept everything now. I just have to keep moving forward. I can't change anything now.
Yeah.
It's
I
really
did enjoy that
hard.
game though, of
It's
passing
really
the
hard to
dagger.
pick a favorite Jack moment. I really liked his and Krunk's dynamic, where he's like a little bit cold towards Krunk and like a little bit uncomfortable with all the affection. I thought that made for fun interactions. But I you were just so quintessential rogue. Like you went into a dragon's den and literally stole their entire horde. That was
vacuumed up all of the everything.
or if like we're doing a big fight with fire, you're off like grilling other people and like getting money, and you're just so rogue. 100% rogue. Is great.
Runner-up
Thank
moment.
you.
Runner-up moment when we were going to the dragon and Jack's putting nonsense shit on this baked good. I think this'll work just fine to a dragon, and he was so confident about it.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's
Listen,
like, no, Jack.
You just gotta believe in
No.
yourself. Hey, it worked in that we successfully talked to the dragon instead of it instantly roasting us.
And it was all from the pastry.
Totally.
Chase.
And my insane deception skills. I like to think it was confusing enough for the dragon to just hesitate. That's all I needed. I
Be
just
like,
needed
let's
a
see how
moment.
this plays out.
Yeah.
That whole encounter was, let's see how this plays out. Let's be honest.
It really
I
was.
so wanted to give that dragon a massage. I was like, he's been laying in a cave for forever. It'll be
You guys were
heavenly.
trying to like woo a dragon from Beverly Hills here with your bougie pastries and your massages.
I would like it noted that I was not.
Your
was afraid of the
extravagant
dragon.
Dance
dancing.
for its pleasure.
Yeah, you were doing exotic dancing for the dragon. Like,
Now, that was a panic move because the dragon's like, give me all of your scrolls that are expensive now.
And my new sword.
And the new sword that Trust Issues McGee here
Yep.
wasn't
Yeah.
using anyway.
Yep. Correct.
panic dancing is like a really special kind of panic response.
That's gingham. I don't.
I hate that.
Do you not panic dance?
Heard of fainting goats? How about dancing goats?
My honorable mention for Jack is you had so many good one-liners, and that was good. But my favorite Jack moment was the very end of the season, and it was kind of a repeating theme that I really liked. Is you played Jack like this tough guy. I don't need anybody. I'm kind of like just this lone wolf, and I guess I have friends. But then there was so many moments when Jack just seemed so scared and alone and needed his friends. And it was very good at the very end of the campaign. Because you went into that tent so confident, and when I yelled at you and made you say the bad words back, you sort of just looked so torn up about it, and it was good. It was great.
Taken out
That's a
of
messed up
context, that is a really funny thing. When I yelled at you in the tent and made you say the bad words back, I'm like, what is happening?
Don't clip that. No one clip that.
Please do.
Oh yeah. Well, I've felt Em and I share this trait in common. We play our characters very deeply from our hearts. We hold on to their emotion. No, I just mean like the emotion lingers on. Yeah, the methoding. It's too early. That's not to say, Katie, you don't play Gingham deeply. I just mean Em and I have chatted about this extensively. Do you also method? Do you feel like it lingers with you?
Gingham doesn't have that kind of emotion, but I know Chase is witness. I think Em is too. I've methoded older characters.
Well, y'all method the scary amount sometimes. Sometimes I have to like go run away and hide if the methoding goes to the rage side.
In the car.
Yeah, maybe it's maybe good that I live so far away from you, Chase, because then there's
may
no
save
risk
you.
from me. Yeah. Gosh, my favorite Jack moment. You guys all named really good ones that I enjoyed a lot. I think probably, well, I guess this is a Jack moment, but I just thought it was a nice moment, period, when Jack like kind of had a little breakdown in Harrow after uh I think the encounter with his mom, or like through the crystal ball, and he kind of just crumbled a little, and I think really showed probably for the first time to Crunk and Gingham like how truly terrified he actually is, and how much of really he's kind of just this scared little kid at heart. Uh and I liked being able to play that moment, and I really enjoyed the like group coming together, like Gingham and Crunk both being there to comfort Jack, and reassuring him that you guys would be there for him through thick and thin. Let's hope that remains true into season 2. Because I think we're about to hit a thick part.
I think that we are.
Are we not in the middle of that, or?
We might be. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Let's see. Let's see. I want to make sure I don't miss any chat questions. We got when is season 2? We did announce that at the beginning, but just to say it again, we'll be rolling out with season 2 at the beginning or middle of July, somewhere in that window. So keep your eye out for that, RLU, and we'll announce it and stuff on our social channels. So no worries about missing that. Let's see. Here's a question I want to ask Chase, although anyone could answer too if you guys have answers to this one. But Chase in particular, what was the biggest surprise for you of the whole season? Like, what was the most surprising thing we did, or thing you had to change, or just whatever?
When you just decided I'm going to teleport to the boss's stronghold.
It was such a good idea.
I mean, it worked
No.
out. It worked out. But yeah, that was pretty surprising.
I was having a little bit of a meltdown. I thought we were going to peek in and then like peace out, but I spent all of my high level spell slots to get us there. And yeah, it was stressful. And then it was the boss fight. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to be so weak. I won't kill anything. And then I killed all the things.
Yeah, then that was not a problem, turns out.
That wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
Everybody died.
That's hilarious to me, because I legitimately I think that was also the biggest surprise for me, was that the fact that it was the boss fight there in the stronghold. I was on the same page as them. I was like, this is great. We'll go get information. We'll, gather some intel. We are going to be so prepared when we go face this guy. I thought we were being like smart, intelligent, responsible players, Chase. And
I would like it noted that I was not for this plan.
Yeah, Katie was regularly against it, which is pretty funny.
I just want it noted. I went along with it, but I was not in agreement with it.
Well, it all worked out in the end.
The thing about that boss is if he hadn't gotten disintegrated to death, he would have gradually gotten stronger, which would have been a really big problem.
Well, thank goodness
it was good.
for disintegrate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, here's a selfish question. Well, it's not selfish, but I really want to know this. And you can go into as much detail as you want to or not. But what made you decide to really lean into Crunk being obsessed with Jack? Because that, at first they had like a bond, because he had that vision from Desna, and he was like, okay, I'm rolling with this guy now. But it definitely grew, and then you just really committed to that bit is, Jack is Crunk's best friend in the entire universe. So I'm curious where that came from.
So we haven't really delved into it, but Kronk's backstory actually informed a lot of that. He used to have a bunch of friends, and then he lost all of them, and then he's been alone for a really long time. So in session 1, when he had a vision from Desna about Jack, he was really hopeful, and then the more time he spent with Jack, the more he just like really was affectionate of this guy, because he sees a little bit of himself in Jack, I think. Somebody who doesn't have a lot of love, I guess, in his life. And he wants to give to somebody what he wishes he could have.
Oh my gosh, that's so tender. That's
Aw.
beautiful. Tearing up over here.
Just
Guys,
I
think you're making
love
fun
it.
of me.
No, it's really
No,
nice. That's really
genuine.
sweet.
with verklempt.
Katie,
Yes.
what did you make of Krunk's paranoia around Gingham throughout the season?
Listen, everything. The goal was to make Krunk trust Gingham at some point. That was my personal goal. And then everything Gingham did was immediately counterintuitive to Krunk trusting Gingham, which was really funny, but also like, wow. None of it ever worked out.
I think after the last 2 episodes, there's a chance that something could change there.
So you're saying there's a
Well, now we
chance.
know who Gingham actually is, so Krunk's burning question has been answered.
That's true.
Are you Jack's mom?
I don't
Thank goodness
know.
that Gingham is not.
No. Yeah. I mean,
Bye,
it's great
Adepticals.
paranoia. Bye, Will. Yeah, it's great paranoia. It's just funny that everything kept lining up to make Krunk distrust Gingham more, and it was all accidental.
Yeah. The dice really leaned into that story.
And not me, surprisingly. I didn't try to do that at all. That just
Yeah.
kind of...
It just kind of happened. Em and I have messaged about it a couple of times, and I'm like, look, that wasn't, and then it did. I don't know.
I see a question from chat. We can jump to, are there any non-Pathfinder games in the Geek future? I can tell you that in the interim before season 2, I'm going to be running a little bit of Pirate Borg for fun. So you can look out for that. We'll probably have a couple of episodes of that. That's just going to be fast and loose and crazy pirate mayhem. So
Tori just wants to kill me a lot.
well, I mean, if that is an added benefit of that game, that's true. And it turns out that Chase has a slight fear of the ocean. So I will also be trying to lean into that. So no, but we'll be playing Pirate Borg. That's all that we have planned right now. Kind of. Go ahead.
We
Em.
have half of a 2-shot of Vaesen recorded.
True.
But we've been having a really hard time getting the scheduling for the second half. But we do have a little bit of Vaesen content supposedly coming your way soon.
Yes, we'll work on that. I think Vaesen season 2, to Alan's question, I think we would all enjoy that. We all loved Vaesen. Yeah, we loved Vaesen so much. So definitely not off the table. I think we'll work through Stolen Fate first and then kind of see where we land. But who knows? We all adore Vaesen and we loved playing that series. So I don't think it will take much for us to convince ourselves to play again.
Yeah. Basin season 1 was probably one of my favorite things we've done. It was a blast.
It was super fun. I keep saying a lot, but that's my seamless segue to the next question. I'm a great moderator.
Segue.
Smooth.
Really quick though, I
Mhm.
think my legacy is always going to be the amount of characters I burned through in a single session of Morkborg. So
It's true.
that's actually my internet legacy, is burning through 12 or some outrageous number of Morkborg characters.
I'm not going to promise that we'll beat that with Pirate Borg, but Katie, if you want to try, I'm all for it. They have one of those rapid character generators for Pirate Borg too, so it's just as easy.
Let's do it. New records.
New records.
Can I kill a few?
Yeah. You want
I
to help?
guess. I mean,
Chase
it's
is already
pirates.
in.
Mutiny.
Yeah, sure. That
Thing
seems
with
like
the
it's in the
dust,
spirit
this
of the
one
game.
overboard if you wanted to.
Yeah, Chase is just yeeting my characters overboard as I create
Next
them.
one. Yeah.
I don't
He
like
has a
this
secret
one.
belief that sharks are going to kill him unless he offers them sacrifices.
I just want to help
Constantly
uphold
killing
Katie's legacy.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Okay. I would love to know, Katie, your favorite thing about Gingham specifically, just like your favorite trait or favorite quirk, whatever. Just what do you love most about Gingham?
What I love most about Gingham. I love that Gingham doesn't judge. Like, Gingham just is there, and they're like, yeah, okay, this is the next thing. Or like, Gingham sees a need and tries to fill that need. Like, Jack got his cool, I think it was a rapier, right, from the Rabbit Prince. And then Crunk was a little bit jelly about it and wanted a cool sword, so Gingham went out and filled that need. So I like that Gingham can fill needs, and like, it's not an obligation to Gingham. Gingham just likes to do that. I think that's my favorite thing about Gingham.
That's
Sure,
Crunk's
judged
least
on the
favorite thing.
actor.
Yeah,
Wow.
unless an NPC pisses Gingham off, and then it
Listen,
is
yeah,
nothing but judgment.
Unless Gingham is pissed off, that's a whole other side of Gingham.
Gingham is non-judgmental yet incredibly vindictive.
Yes, Gingham's real vindictive. It's fine.
Same question to you, except what is your favorite thing about Crunk?
I like it when he crits things and then they explode. That's my favorite. I love that he's like, oh, I'm a big protector, except I can kill anything.
The best
to
defense is a
swarms.
good offense, right?
Yeah. So I actually had this really cool, like, shields, right? But then I rarely had them out. I was always double handing my weapon and then casting shields. So I liked I like Crunk's build a lot. But for like personality wise or like actions, I don't know. I was a little worried about Crunk a little bit because I felt like I was maybe a little inconsistent with his character. But yeah, I like that he was devoted to Jack and not to Gingham. Like, he had such a deep suspicion of Gingham. He thought that Gingham was somehow really powerful, maybe, or like tried to show him up. The fact that Katie could like just like pivot into any sort of role and be master, literally like a master at that thing, it was just it didn't make sense to Crunk's brain, and he thought that Gingham was just like this ultra powerful being pretending to not be ultra powerful, and that made him suspicious. And I think that the fact that that's the Katie's favorite and Crunk's least favorite is hilarious.
It's so great.
I think Crunk was consistently inconsistent. Like, post when he got cursed with like the big ego. Like, I feel like he took a shift after that you didn't intend, but then it kind of stuck, and he was always like this devout character, like I think you planned in the beginning, but he was like obliviously to himself violent. And it was pretty funny.
He's like, I'm just a nice guy that occasionally kills people.
In terribly destructive ways.
I do like that about Crunk too. I know that question's for him, but I like the way Crunk just like hair trigger just switches.
Yeah, it does not take much.
I'm just I'm just a big teddy bear. Disintegrate!
You said, what about Jack? No.
Yes, I think one of my favorite lines, and when you were talking about just devoted to Jack, not to Gingham, all the way in the finale episode when you're introducing us to Aradeth, and Krunk's just like, well, my name's Krunk. This is my best friend in the world, Jack, and
My
his friend
associate.
Gingham. No, he says his friend
Oh, that's
Gingham.
true. That's true. Gingham notices.
It's so that part cracked me up. I have a lot of the episodes very like intimately memorized because I edit the podcast and stuff, so I end up listening to a lot of these parts quite a few times. But it's funny. It's good when it's a funny part because they make me laugh all over again. Well, I will answer my own question about Jack.
Here, Tori, what's your favorite thing about Jack?
Oh, Katie, thanks so much for
Yeah.
asking me. That's so nice.
I know.
I really liked something I was kind of surprised about Jack that sort of developed that I didn't necessarily think about being part of his character at first was that balance of just ultra rogue, as M noted, tough lone wolf, I'm edgy and I don't need anybody, with this weird, almost goofy streak. Like his harebrained idea to decorate this biscuit all strange and him like thinking that might work, and like his willingness to go along with ridiculous plans. Like he has kind of this strange, almost slightly whimsical flavor in him where he's willing to entertain shenanigans. So he's this like edgy edgelord who's like, yeah, totally, like let's decorate this baked good and that'll be fun. Or what all the other wild things that we got up to, Jack was just like usually willing to go along for the ride. So I kind of thought that was a fun thing that I discovered along the way, is Jack's, I guess, what would you call that? Like, he can have fun. He like appreciates a good time and can have fun. Like actually, and another moment where that comes out, like where he kind of got into the carnival games unexpectedly and he like started teaching Shadow, like, here's the right technique for this one and here's how to throw it just so he can kind of get wrapped up in these strange little fun, just completely insignificant things and activities that he enjoys. So that's what I'll say for that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think it came out because we had such a strange oddball group.
Boy, did we.
We like all needed to have a little bit of levity because we were a bunch of weirdos.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, we are a bunch of weirdos, because who in their right mind is going to go to this court, right? And then just obey Guy. We're like, oh, hi, you're strange. You want us to go through these portals and collect cards? We'll do it because you asked.
You guys were kind of conditioned to do it. I don't know if you realize this, but every time you guys kind of tried to not, bad things happened.
That's true.
Fair enough.
You're like, oh, got me again.
That makes Guy seem way more sinister.
Yeah.
I know.
Chase.
Guy is a pal.
He's a pal. He's a dude. He's a buddy.
Who always appears to be our enemy from the ones we literally just killed.
Well, that's just a funny joke.
Oh.
Funny
jokes, he says.
So funny.
So funny.
I have a question from the audience. It says, hello. What would it take for Willem to replace Krunk as best friend status? Pretty sure that's how that person sounds.
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Wait, like for Willem to become Krunk's best friend?
No, Jack's, obviously.
Oh, Jack's
is what I imagine they mean.
That's probably what they meant in that voice again.
Do tell, Tori.
Well, I don't think that
It's okay if the answer is he has to kill it.
It's okay
Has
if
to
the answer
kill
is
Krunk.
Willem is actually Jack's best friend. That's fine too.
Willem is
Is it?
not Jack's best friend. Definitely not. Never has been Jack's best friend.
This is where we actually discover that Jack's best friend is this dude named Jared.
Just some guy way unrelated to all of this.
Grunt's like, so I've been meaning to ask, Jack.
Who is your best friend anyway? If Jack had a best friend, I think he's learned enough now to not ever reveal that information to Krunk because he's pretty sure that that person would end up dead at some point.
Like, almost immediately is my thought.
Spoiler
Like,
alert, it's stepdad Shadow.
Actually, that might be true. I think Shadow is maybe is maybe closest to Jack, but well, I don't even know about closest. I think he feels akin to Shadow in a way that he doesn't feel with anybody else, and he didn't really know why that was.
Because he was such a good listener when he didn't have a mouth.
I honestly think that's part of it. He was someone that Jack didn't have to feel like any kind of judgment from because for the longest time he was literally just like vegetable brain, like no response, just blink, no mouth, no really capability to even respond. So Jack for the first time in his life experienced like true safety in sharing his thoughts and feelings with someone because he just needed that blank slate. He has great fear in him in case you guys didn't notice. So part of that fear is also like fear of his own emotions and stuff. So if he detects that kind of big response from anybody else, like probably a big response he'd get from Krunk if he were to ever, really go deep with Krunk, that all like really freaks him out. And so Shadow's blankness was so refreshing for Jack. And then by the time Shadow learned to talk again, he was just kind of Jack already had positive feelings toward him. But to ease your heart, your little Krunk heart, I will say Jack does consider Krunk probably his only like real friend. Shadow kind of doesn't count in his mind because Shadow's like a weird simulacrum who has only recently become a person again. So anyway, those are my thoughts around Jack's best friend, and I don't think Willem is anywhere on the list. I'm sorry, Chase.
Ooh.
Yet. We'll see.
Yes, Sam, that is my hair. It's all underneath.
Yes. It's funny because Katie, well, you and I both, Katie, are usually in, full
Like
cosplay
wigs,
whenever
yeah.
we're streaming. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like we all got together recently and Em was like, Tori, I haven't seen your hair in so long. It looks so good. And I was like, oh yeah, you guys hardly ever see what I look like on the daily. But
We
here
didn't
it
know
is.
Tori
the
anymore. We
mullet.
just knew Jack.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jack has completely consumed my entire persona, as has Gingham for Katie. That's all
Who's to
we are
say
now.
that Gingham is not actually me?
I seriously
we
hope
know it
that
is.
is untrue.
I like the two immediate opposing responses. I hope that's not true, and I mean, I'm pretty sure it is.
Chase, here's a
Yes?
question.
Okay.
Are you as evil as you seem to be in our shorts and our clips?
Okay. Here's the thing.
I
No,
have my own
That's
answer
the thing,
to this
it's the
question.
thing.
Absolutely not. I come up with very sinister ideas, but I'm always very fair. I'm never out to get anybody specifically. I just like to present a constant aura of trials and stress that is fun to overcome.
So I think, in other words, chat, yes, He is as evil as he seems.
The
Chase just
TLDR
likes
of
to
this
be
answer.
entertained.
Yeah. Dance for me, my little puppets.
Our suffering is his entertainment.
Yes.
Or is it your entertainment? Hmm.
See,
It's,
our
I
entertainment.
guess, both.
See, you sit down and you're like, yes, my stories that I control.
I never force anyone into anything. I just threaten Crunk's life if you don't swear a blood oath. That's all.
Listen, you put yourself into that situation. You could have just let the silent hag go.
And left a card behind? We would
Yeah.
never hear the end of it from Guy.
Yeah. But do you respect Guy?
No.
I
Yeah.
fear Guy.
Huh?
I
That's
fear Guy
different.
as well.
It's not a chase game without a little PTSD.
That's so true.
That's the best comment of the night.
That's 100% accurate.
Yes, it is. It's so accurate.
There were many, many sessions where the next day I had to text Chase. Say, like, I am worried. I am concerned. I feel stressed. Speaking of stress,
Halo.
Katie, how stressful was it keeping that secret the whole season from all of us, you filthy liar?
Whoa. Whoa.
I concur. Yeah.
Wow.
You and Chase conniving behind our backs.
Listen.
For anyone who didn't know, Katie knew the whole time who Gingham was and all that big twist at the end, and Em and I had no idea.
Hold on. It wasn't the entire season. It was like halfway through. And Chase messaged and he was like, hey, what if Gingham was related to Jack as the half sister? And then we talked about it. So it was only like half a season. Thank you. And on top of that, chat, behind the scenes, Tori almost figured it out. And so Chase and I had to run interference to get her off of that trail and onto a different one.
I actually never thought that Gingham... It's funny, because I never got so far as to think Gingham would ever be related to Jack. But I did kind of think, like, maybe Shadow is somehow connected to Jack's mom, because maybe that's the same hag that attacked his place. And that's kind of as far as I got. And then there was the weird thing with Gingham and the Lily. So I was like, okay, well, somehow Gingham is in this. I don't really know how. But yeah, then I don't even know, you guys steered me in a different direction. It was more like just so many other things were happening. So I had to set that aside. That's
true. I don't think it was stressful. I did want to talk about it so badly, but I didn't. I also didn't want to ruin that surprise because I was like, damn, that's actually super devious and I'm really here for it. So like, why ruin that kind of surprise? Your face was worth it. Both of your faces were worth it. Like, so it wasn't really stressful. I was just more excited to see how you were going to react to it.
I knew from session 0 that I wanted your mom to be the same. I didn't propose it to Katie till like halfway through because I wanted to make sure that Gingham was going to fit the vibe and see how Shadow played out. And then I wanted to make sure Katie was down with it.
See.
So you had that plan for Shadow the moment that he was introduced.
Yeah, and I was purposely trying to make you think that Shadow was your real dad as a red herring.
Oh my gosh, you were so mean. You were so gaslighty too, because then Em and I both multiple times were like, is Shadow my dad? Like, is Shadow Jack's dad? And then every time you were just like, no. Like why would you ever think that? What a silly question. Of course not.
I think I was like, what? You think just because I gave him dark hair on his token, he looks like...
Yes.
I did that on purpose.
You were trying. I just don't appreciate being gaslit that way.
I literally had your character art up when I was making the Hero Forge, and I was like, let's make this look really similar to Jack.
So rude.
I'm pretty sure you also had Gingham's human art up too while you were doing it. So, you know.
Yep. And I gave a lot of little hints that he was tied to Gingham, but they were a lot more subtle.
Like what? Give me an
Like,
example.
I actually brought up the bird necklace very early.
Mm-hmm. Because I always wear a raven necklace when we play. Gingham has a raven skull necklace. That is Gingham's amulet. Is the raven skull necklace.
I never put those dots together. That's cool.
And then when he was being weird and following Jack around, I described his waddling movements in the same way that Katie described the Weedle and Jig. So I was just doing little tidbits.
Why did he follow Jack, though?
Because you don't know yet, but there is a purpose.
Okay.
Because reasons is the answer, Tori.
I guess.
I was about to just tell you, but then I realized it's a spoiler, so.
Ah, don't spoil it.
Well, in my defense with the necklace thing, Gingham wears a lot of junk. So it's hard to keep track of what's hanging off of them at any moment.
That is true. That is true.
But if you look at Gingham's character art, the necklace is like the centerpiece.
Also true.
I would say Gingham's haunting, terrifying eyes staring out from their skull are the centerpiece of that art.
Listen.
Well, maybe you need to have a little more appreciation for jewelry.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, all those adornments.
I don't like this slander against my good buddy Tori about her jewelry appreciation.
I'm just saying that I have frequently described Gingham grabbing their implements as a thaumaturge to make
their
shit
amulet.
work.
Yes, yeah, I knew they had an amulet. I think I just missed somewhere along the way that it was specifically a raven skull.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good hint, though.
It's
good
funny.
little detail.
Your mom was also quite familiar with Gingham. Or, well, Ginny.
Well, we didn't really have time to unpack that because as soon as we showed up, everything in the first episode, everything went horribly wrong. So, I mean, obviously they were connected because Ginny was being sacrificed actively in some kind of hag ritual.
It's fine. Don't even worry about it.
Bless you, Em.
Thank you.
Oh, we're getting that art.
I'm going to try to get that art.
I think it's in Drive. I'm going to find it for you.
Thanks.
Tori and Chase, vamp.
Yeah.
Vamp.
We panic. We're panicking.
Who we biting?
Chase, do you feel bad at all, even a tiny little bit, for how much trauma you heaped upon me this season?
You want an honest answer?
I guess.
No.
Okay.
Only because, Tori, I know that you enjoy a little bit of trials and tribulations for your characters.
I know. You're always like, you love it. Even as I'm sobbing internally.
It's all about reading the room. I have had some players that would really hate that kind of constant stress on their characters, but
that's true.
I did regularly check in with you.
Chase and I have played a great many games together. He has terrorized a great number of my characters. So we have that established level of trust.
Also true, RLU. They do know what they're in for at this point. So
yes.
Y'all played Vaesen with me.
Yes. Yeah, there's another character who really went through it. Let's hope that Jack's ending is a little more favorable.
See, with Jack, you kind of set yourself up for the tragic backstory a bit. Like,
it's true.
Right there. With Constance, it was different because with Constance, I just dangled a lot of shiny little mischief to the entire group multiple times, and Constance was always the first one to bite.
Ooh,
so
shiny. Cursed magic? Ooh. Yeah. That's fair. No, it's true. I did so some inspiration for where Jack's character kind of came from way back when I made it for Katie's campaign that we played. I think it's really interesting within like Pathfinder lore that changelings are obviously the offspring of hags, but no one really knows exactly what that process is like for a changeling to turn into a hag. And And I thought it was interesting that, like, hags are all female. So then the question that I wondered was like, well, what happens with male changelings? Like, do they also turn into hags? Are they sacrificed in some terrible ritual? Like, they also experience the call, but like, what happens to them and how would that be? And then I started thinking how interesting it would be to play a character who basically has a ticking time bomb looming over them, where they know that like they've got to find some way out of what it seems inevitable. So that's where Jack came from, all the way back with Katie's campaign, and then that kind of folded. So I was really excited to bring him back in this campaign where it felt like, Stolen Fate, we were dealing with a lot of like destiny and fate and all of that kind of stuff, and very like mystical vibes. So I felt like a changeling would fit really well with that whole story. So yes,
does
Chase,
fit
I
in
did
very
hand
good.
you this tragic, like traumatic backstory and said, have fun, go crazy with it. And you are doing that. I just like to give you a hard time when I can.
Oh, that's super fair.
And was
Em's
that enough
just
vamping?
lucky that they didn't
I
kill
don't know. You asked
Desna.
Katie. I found it. She found it as well.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's ready.
that's great
Art,
vamping.
art.
All right, art. Oh god, I hope this fits. Here's gingham. Nope, that's too big. Holy
That's okay.
shit, that was huge.
90% more gingham.
Oh my god, that was
Giant
too
gingham
much
hat.
gingham.
Ah!
that was
Zoomed way
too much gingham. Let's try.
Yeah, I thought gingham was just a little muffin.
It's a little guy.
Gingham is a little muffin. Okay, here's for real. Oh my god, who did I do? Okay, never mind. You get Crunk first because I can only resize one thing at a time.
Look at that arm.
Oh, there's
There's
Crunk.
Crunk.
Spiky arm.
Crunk-
I love your shoulder
Crunk-a-lunk.
spikes, Em.
Thank
I always thought that
you.
was such a cool detail.
Wait, I have a very important question about this art. Which arm is the disintegrate arm and which arm is the sword arm?
You could just ask people that question.
So he puts it through his sword. So if he's two-handing, it's both. But generally
But where does the
speaking,
magic come from?
his heart.
Okay, good.
It comes
Great comes
Is
from
he-
his heart.
Is Crunk
Heart.
right
No.
or left-handed?
Oh.
So Crunk is right-handed, so his big arm. So he actually kind of has to, like, what's the word?
Wait,
I'm
his
looking for
big
here?
arm
His
is his
left
right
is the
one?
big one, right?
Is,
His
so
left
yes,
is the big one.
his left is the big one. So yeah, he's right-handed, so he uses his sword mainly with his right hand, and then his big spiky arm is the one he bears his shield with normally.
Oh,
That makes
nice.
sense, since that arm is like
Yeah.
half shield already.
I was gonna say that's
Yeah,
already a shield.
Exactly. Yeah.
Arm and shield. Okay, I have Jack. Here's Jack. Crunk, go away. Jack.
Crunk, don't go away.
Crunk goes nine.
Looks like Shadow.
Oh my goodness. So rude.
So mean.
Yeah, one thing that's not in the Jack art because it's just too small, but or like a detail I would have loved to be more emphasized in the art, and hopefully we can in the future, is his left eye being bright green, because that's obviously very important.
I almost took that away.
You did momentarily.
You did take it away.
You did for a couple
It
sessions.
doesn't count if it doesn't stick.
Oh.
You
Oh.
took away my dark vision for a session. That counts.
I'm gonna keep that reasoning in mind for no particular reason other than I feel that it's necessary.
But yeah,
Now
this
show us
is-
the
this
true
is Jack.
villain, Katie. Who's the true villain of the series?
Oh, he's in the
Oh,
upper
boy.
right-hand corner. Goatee, glasses.
Chase.
So Jack.
There's Jack. Yep.
Here is a gingham. There you go.
Look at that. Look at that.
There's the
Look at that
necklace,
necklace.
the amulet.
Yeah, look at that amulet.
But
And
look how much else is going on
Okay, but enhance
with
on that
Kingdom's
amulet.
art, though. Okay.
enhance.
Enhance.
Can I? That's the wrong one to enhance.
There's
Nope,
like a
that's also
weird
the wrong one
stick
to enhance.
wand. There's patches. There's this haunting yellow glowing
Here,
eyes.
I am enhancing. Look, now we can't even see our faces.
That's great.
Yeah.
We just need to see the necklace.
I have
There it is.
enhanced.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. I didn't not believe
Enhanced.
you.
Man, maybe I should have given a Shadow like a patchwork red piece on his pants.
Well, there you go.
I don't know. He kind of had a hobo vibe, so I think I would have just chalked it up to that. He literally was hitchhiking his way into Harrowcourt, so
Listen, what I've learned is
good.
that
It's good.
Tori thinks that Gingham just hoards trash, which is not incorrect.
I think that has been stated canonically.
Yes, correct.
So I'm not off base with that.
True. Yeah, there was the art.
Yeah.
What an exciting stream this was. We had art and mini games.
It's a lot.
Art and games. Well, any last, I don't know, thoughts, highlights, things for chat before we wrap up this fine evening?
You
And
know,
you have a thoughtful face. Oh, go ahead, Chase.
I will say that season 2 is going to have a lot more drama. There's going to be a lot less like chilling at the pool house in Harrowcourt.
Dang.
It's going to be a lot more fighting for our lives. It's going to be great.
Oh, actually, that's a great question to end on. I forgot to ask. What is everyone most excited about for season 2? What are you guys most looking forward to? Chase, can you give us a non-spoiler answer? What are you most looking forward to?
Non-spoiler answer. I'm looking forward to Crunk's story arc.
Ooh, how exciting.
That's now my answer. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have a story arc?
Yeah. It was going to be about Desna dying
cool.
if Paizo killed off Desna, but they killed off Gorham instead. So,
can you imagine?
I would have been upset. I guess what I'm most excited about is to see how the new information from the finale, how that's going to change Crunk and Gingham's relationship.
And Jack and Gingham's relationship, for that matter. Gingham's relationship with everybody.
Dynamics
really.
are shifting. Right? Change is on the wind.
Change is on the wind. Yes.
KT?
Man, I have to like copy paste because like same. I want to know how the relationships are going to change because Chase has made Gingham forget twice. Gingham doesn't remember these instances now. So like,
oh, that's true. So
Gingham
we're going to know
remember.
And you're not going to remember.
So I'm interested to see how that's going to change with Gingham not knowing what has happened or like, I mean, unless I'm interpreting it wrong, Chase, it sounds like Gingham keeps getting the reset button hit on him.
Uh-huh.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Tori? I'm both dreading and excited to see where Jack's story goes with his mom now. It was very unclear. You know, she's dead, but still active somehow. So I'm very, like I said, excited and terrified.
What if that wasn't your mom?
Kate, I really need you to stop, Chase. We're not even in a session right now, okay? You're not allowed to traumatize me, Tori, the actual person.
Outside of the cave. On pause. We're on hiatus.
Yeah, not a break. Please. No, I guess that's true. Who even knows? But I think I'm excited to see. I'm excited to explore that storyline with Jack. And specifically, I'm excited to see how Jack chooses to respond, because this is something I've been thinking about a lot, like in our downtime as I've, we're moving into the next season and stuff. Obviously, I anticipate the first session we're just going to be jumping right into defending Harrowcourt, so I don't think any of us is going to have a lot of time to like unpack all of the stuff that has happened to our characters. But I'm very curious, and I'm pondering it in myself, if Jack is going to kind of rise to the occasion and continue like trying to defy his destiny and saying, you know what, screw you, Mom. Like I'm gonna break out of this somehow, or if this will if he'll have sort of a down period where he maybe just sort of gives up and says, you know what, like I clearly can't escape this. I've tried everything. There's nothing left I can do. Because I kind of think that would be interesting as well. So I'm curious to see where things land and how it feels in the moment, if Jack will keep hope or give up and need his friends to buoy him up a little bit. So that was a long answer, sorry.
But
That's what I'm excited about.
no, I like it.
Yeah.
Em, do you want to answer this last question from Sam about your
Sure. So side lore that I was gonna mention earlier, I had a fully built different character actually before I switched to Crunk. And that was a beautiful, stunning tiefling man named Duke. And
I
he was
forgot
going
about
to be-
Duke.
Duke.
Yeah, he was like a magus bard, and he was just gonna be like incredibly suave and deadly.
I don't understand
was
how
my-
you're
my
not
original
explaining
plan.
Crunk.
Crunk is so awkward. He's so awkward, and he's not pleasant to look upon.
But he is deadly.
He's a terrifying
True.
I
beast.
like his big
He is
shield
deadly.
arm.
That's the only thing that stayed.
I like his big shield arm. Okay.
I was a little bit lost when we first started this because I was like, how am I gonna play not Duke? I've been practicing Duke's accent for a month and now I'm suddenly not doing it. So that was fun.
And now Crunk has totally absorbed you.
Yep, he has. I don't think I could go without going, Jack! It'd be devastating if that wasn't a thing.
Is that your line to get into Crunk's voice?
You know that it is. It
Okay.
adds 100%. It's just like different varying levels of Jack.
Oh,
So
I love
dumb.
that. It's awesome. It's really great. Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. It was so fun to be live with you all and see you guys in chat. We haven't done this in so long.
Ages.
It was so fun.
Been a minute.
Yeah. And I don't really, I mean, this was a great chat. Thank you guys, KDM, Chase, for hanging out and answering questions. It was a really fun season, and I'm so excited to play more with you guys. I always love playing with you guys. This one was
same.
extra super fun. So, I guess everyone keep an eye out for our Pirate Borg special episodes. I make no promises to how that will go because I've never run it before. I'm running a couple of like guinea pig sessions with some friends to get the feel for it, but we'll see. I will disclaimer this now and say I don't know ship terms, so I will be just throwing out nonsense for that.
Maybe we need to play Sea of Thieves as homework.
I will be
boy.
looking up some ship terms probably just to kind of get a feel for it. But anyway, I'm excited. It should be fun. It'll be a good little change of pace. And then early mid-July, we'll get going again with season 2 of Stolen Fate. In the meantime, you guys can follow us on Instagram or Threads if you haven't already. I think all of you here in chat are in our Discord already, but in case you're not, go hang out there. And yeah, anything else to add, you guys?
Just thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Miss you all. I miss live streaming.
Yes.
See you guys
So,
hopefully soon.
what is it? Go take a long rest, drink plenty of water, and we'll catch you next time.
Night, everyone.